Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is another episode of Points of View Photographers One-on-One Talks. Today, I have my friend and photographer Teresa Furtado. We're based out of Bridgewater, Virginia. So let's just jump on into it. How long have you been a photographer, Teresa?
Gosh. I think I started in like 2012, I want to say.
Okay.
So not quite 10 years yet, but.
And what got you into photography? Was there a certain moment or time that you're just like, oh, I really want to do that? Or anyone?
I didn't have internet where I was living at the time, and I was so bored all the time. And I had my little like digital camera, and I'm just gonna go outside. So went outside, and just started like bopping around, and
Oh, nice. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you have like a favorite thing to shoot when you're out shooting?
Just outdoorsy stuff. So plants or animals, or people outside in the plants with animals.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
plants,
very
animals, yeah.
outdoors.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. That's what's up. So is there a certain genre or anything that you haven't shot yet that you really want to, or a certain technique of photography that you really like but you haven't been able to try yet?
Okay, so I really, really want to shoot like some drag queen show. Like I think that'd be so fun. Or just do some super glamour shoot
Yeah.
somewhere.
Heck,
Like, yeah.
I wonder, does Harrisonburg still do anything? Because I know I used to do the drag shows at what is it? What was that place that closed down?
Oh gosh. The Dodger.
Yeah, the Dodger. So I wonder
Yeah.
if any other place is doing it now that the Dodger's
So
closed.
I think so. The place that was the Dodger is still doing it. It's just
Oh,
like the little like Habana place instead.
you should
But
reach out and try to shoot
I
that.
know
That's
I
pretty
want to.
sweet.
I met one drag queen at the Pride Festival, and he was super nice. And I kind of want to like reach out now and be like, "Yo, can we please do a shoot because you're gorgeous?" And I
Yeah, and
really want
I
to
feel
take
like
pictures.
doing that too would probably open up more doors, and like other people might see your
Yeah.
work and be like, "Oh yeah, we should definitely hire her and stuff because we really like what
Hmm.
she does."
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I've never thought about that. I mean, I've been to like a drag show or two, but I've never thought about
Uh,
photographing it. Yeah,
I
I just
think
feel
it'd
like
be so
whenever
fun.
I go to one, it's just so packed, so it'd be hard to like move around and everything.
Well, I don't necessarily want to do it like in the club because I'm really bad at like indoor lighting. So
Hmm.
like I like doing outdoor stuff. So I'd really want to like kind of mix the best of both worlds. Best of
Makes
both worlds.
sense.
Sorry. And I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do like a glam shoot somewhere outside and be really dramatic.
Heck yeah.
That's kind of what I
Well,
want to do. Yeah.
that sounds awesome. Hopefully
Yeah.
you're able to do it, and I can see some photos.
I
That sounds
know.
amazing.
After this, thing is done, all the virus stuff, maybe I'll reach out.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like this virus has definitely caused some issues for a lot of people. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't been able to go out and shoot at all. That's why I'm doing these videos, talking to other
Yeah.
photographers and everything, trying to uh,
I
get
feel.
stir crazy in my apartment, and my girlfriend ended up killing me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So your current setup, do you have like a certain lens that you shoot with, or that you really like, or is there a certain lens that you want to get that you really
So I
want?
mostly just use like the 55 millimeter because it's really good
Okay,
for like portrait stuff.
cool,
So
cool.
that's mostly what I use.
And what camera body are you currently using?
The Rebel T6. It's good.
Hey, I feel like everyone's like, "Oh, I need to get the best thing." I'm like, that
I
is not
know.
how it is. Like I feel like it's all about the photographer and how you use it. Like I know people that shoot with cameras that like have like 8 megapixels, but like they're able to
Hmm.
make it work and everything. And I feel like the only reason why you need more megapixels is if you're like printing it out or getting it like printed on like a board or something. Like I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
I
Or
feel
if
like
you're like zooming in super far on something, you really need a
yeah,
good lens for that. Yeah,
yeah,
it really doesn't matter. Like you just like art is art. You can do whatever.
yeah. Use what you got. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, I do buy a lot of photography stuff,
I
which
know.
doesn't really help my art. I feel like it's just like sits around, and I'm like, I need to actually go out and shoot with it. But because of the coronavirus, I can't right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dang.
So do you have like a certain editing process for your images, like that you kind of stick with, or do you have presets that you've made?
I
Because I
tried
know,
making a preset, but like every picture is different. So like if I use like a few presets that I've made, then I'm just like I don't feel like it works for that particular photo.
yeah.
So I mostly just kind of wing it every time, which can be kind of tedious, but I feel like it's worth it
Yeah,
because
I
you can really
completely
feel it out.
agree. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was recently talking to someone about that too. Like, I'm like, how most Instagrammers, they all have like a certain look to their photos and everything. But if they apply that look to every photo, I feel like it can take away from certain scenarios and everything. Like,
Hmm.
say, like it's landscape and the way the sunset is and everything, but you put a filter that you put on everything else, it might take away from like the saturation or something. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like
I
a lot
feel
of people
that.
do that.
I mean, I definitely have certain things I try to keep as like my kind of signature look, but I try to be a little creative, like, in other ways, and not do the same thing every single time. But,
So with like Instagram and everything, do you feel like there's like a lot of pressure there for like having a certain look or anything? Because I follow a lot of people and like their pages are all one way, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's great. And they have like so many followers. I'm like, maybe I need to start doing that. Maybe I need to have my photos the same way. But
yeah,
at the same time, like we're talking about the way things look and everything, it's like it can take away from it if you're doing that too.
hmm
But
yeah. No way. Like, I can't do that. I just have to do whatever I feel like putting out, and like if that works for some people, that's great. But I can't stay in like a little box like that. I gotta do different things.
that's good. Yeah, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people kind of just confine themselves to one area and like, oh, I'm just gonna do
hmm
baby portraits and nothing else. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, I get that because you're trying to get a certain clientele and everything, but I
hmm
feel like also you're not really helping yourself grow if you're just sticking with one area because I feel like
Yeah.
if you're just doing that, you're doing the same lighting, the same setup and everything, so it's nothing new and you're not really growing as a photographer. But if
hmm
you're doing like shooting at night and using natural light that way, but also using strobes or whatever, like in different scenarios, I feel like it definitely can make you a better photographer in
Yeah.
certain ways. So yeah.
I agree. Yeah. And I mean, and a lot of people like, that's their living. It's like, hey, I'm really good at doing baby photography. So that's great. But
Yeah,
like, I like to be, I don't really like put myself in a box.
that's good. Yeah, I
Like, I
hear you.
try
Yeah.
to be adventurous, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like probably a lot of those people that do that, they probably do shoot other things. They just obviously don't put it on their page or something because like they're always
Yeah.
trying to get that certain clientele. But
Yeah.
well,
And
hopefully, I don't know. Maybe that is all they shoot, but that'd be
well,
kind
I
of
mean,
boring.
if
I feel
that's
like
their
you should do
career,
that.
like I get that, but like if I'm obviously not like living off of that right now, so I can have
Mhm.
to have a little more freedom to kind of do whatever and not
Definitely.
worry about clients.
Sweet. Heck yeah. So we already talked about editing process. Do you ever edit your images on like apps on your phone or anything like that before you upload it to Instagram? Or do you do everything on your computer beforehand?
So, well, my computer's really slow, so it doesn't always work out that way. But I have like the Photoshop app on my phone, which is not
Really?
super great. Yeah.
I did
So
not
it's
know
just,
that they had a Photoshop app.
yeah, they do. It's just the basics. So you can't really do any of like crazy, you can't give someone a third arm or something, but like,
Darn it.
yeah, it's so sad. But like, yeah, since I mostly just changed the lighting a little bit and maybe do a little here and there, like I don't really need anything fancy. So I do that and then I put it on Instagram.
Sweet. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I only use really like one app for editing on my phone. It's called Snapseed, and I discovered it by meeting up with a bunch of people on Broadway one. Like I don't even know what was going on, but it was like a bunch of
Uh-huh.
people at someone's house, and we were like talking about stuff, and some guy was like
Yeah.
Snapseed. And I'm like Snapseed,
I've
okay. And
never
then
even heard of that.
yeah, you should check it out. It's like my favorite app. Like it's so
Yeah.
sweet, and it has like a bunch of different settings and tools and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
if you get a
I
sec,
see a
I
lot
think.
of like Visco. I haven't used Visco, but
Okay,
like I know a lot
yeah.
of people are obsessed with that.
See, I feel like that's more for like filtering and stuff. I mean, it does have the
Yeah.
settings to like darken and all that stuff and like sharpen and whatnot, but I feel like a lot of it is more like the filters because you can actually like buy like separate filters from that company to
hmm
like give your photos like certain film looks and everything, which is cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to use it all the time, but now I just really use Snapseed if I'm trying to post something, just because
Yeah.
it has what I need, but nothing
I
more.
should check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have a favorite photo that you've taken? I know you sent me a list of a couple photos. Did
Yeah.
you want to jump in and talk about those? Do you
Yeah,
have those
sure.
in front
So,
of you?
not in front of me, but I'm
No.
picturing it. I sent it to you. The
Okay.
one, so Sarah, the one in the woods on the rock. Like, it's
Okay.
so freaking moody. When I took that, I like shrieked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what did I just do?" I was so impressed. But
And
like,
that's the one when she has like what is I don't know the
she's
term
wearing like a
express.
lacy dress or something.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It does.
just so moody. It
And this
reminds me
is
of like a
all
painting.
natural light.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. And where was this
It's
shot at? Like,
so it's actually like in my mom's backyard in Front Royal. Like,
really?
yeah, she lives right on the river, so there's like
Oh, that's
some
awesome.
couple acres back there of cliffs and rocks and stuff, and it's so pretty.
See, I figured you probably went up to like Skyline and went on a hike or
No,
something, a
nope,
waterfall.
just in my
That's
mom's backyard.
awesome.
Yeah.
Have you shot with Sarah much since then?
Uh, like like 1 or 2 more times. And we kind of, I've moved a lot in the past few years, so it's kind of been a little crazy.
Yeah, I remember when we shot with her that one time, and I guess she was trying to become a model. Is she still trying to do that? Yeah.
I think she does a little bit like that, but I don't think she's done a lot of shoots recently. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I really like the tones and everything on here. Did you use like a filter for this, or is it just like
A
this is just
little bit.
a little bit?
Yeah, I use like the tiniest bit of like the like black point. I like to bring that up like a tiny bit to give it like a little filmy look, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
see
know.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I really didn't have to do a whole lot to it. That's why I was just like, oh my gosh.
Those are the best ones, right? Less work.
Yeah. And that's when I was starting to get like adventurous with manual too. And I was like, I did it. I used manual.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So then the next photo we have here, it looks like someone's looking through some not shrubs, but what are those things?
Oh, that's Nia in the bushes. Or like we were just in the field. That's actually the field right across from the Luray Airport.
Really?
Yeah.
See, all these things, I'm like, oh, she's up on Skyline Drive. She's had to
No.
she's in the mountains, but it's like right off like the main road and everything. That's crazy. Just to show you use what you got. Yeah.
That's exactly what I think. So like a lot of times, most of these shoots are super spontaneous. I'm like, oh my gosh, the lighting is so good, but I don't have time to go to Skyline Drive. Let's go here. So like really quick, so somewhere we can get to in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
see, I feel like
it's perfect.
I feel like that's my problem is like I'm always like, oh, I got to find the perfect spot, and I'm not really thinking about what's around me to use, which I feel like definitely keeps me from capturing certain images because I'm like, oh, I need to have it up on this hill or whatever. But I mean, you can like fake it. Like I feel like I know you weren't trying to fake it, but like if I thought this was on Skyline Drive, because of all the green and everything. So I feel like if you know what you're doing and stuff, like obviously you do, you can use your surroundings around you to get what you need instead of driving like an hour or so to a certain spot.
Mm-hmm. I'm always looking for places, that I could do like that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the third photo is is this your grandmother?
Yeah, so that picture, I don't know, it just has a lot of meaning because, like, another reason I really like taking pictures is just kind of like capturing the moment and trying to be like, hey, I want to remember this forever,
Mm-hmm.
So that picture, because my grandma would kind of just sit there and watch everyone because she couldn't hear very well. But, like, that's exactly how she would be every single time. And I was like, dang, I just want to, like, capture it. And I kind of got it in, like, a kind of moody way. And it looks kind of, like, grim, but it's not,
Well, she looks happy.
Yeah. It's just kind of dark. It was, like, after sunset, so it wasn't very bright out. But it was just a good, like to capture memories.
Yeah, like that. I feel like a lot of people don't really, like, think about that. I feel like everyone's now like, oh, I got to post a model pic for Instagram and stuff. They don't really think about, like, taking photos of their family and stuff.
Yeah, just like, candid stuff.
Yeah, down the line, that's going to matter to you a lot more than some random person that you photographed,
Oh, yeah.
So you just want more likes on Instagram. So I really like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I need to do more of that. But it's just hard living across the country from your family.
Yeah, I get that. So next time you come up, you just got to, like, creep on people and hide behind a chair.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I try to take some photos over Christmas time when I visited, but I was just getting pulled in every direction, so I really wasn't able to stick with certain people for so long. Yeah, but Courtney, she's always giving me a hard time. She's like, you need to take more pictures of Sweet Pea. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, yeah, I'm okay.
I mean, she's not wrong. You can never have too many pictures of Sweet Pea.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I did that video photo shoot that was kind of fun, and she did really well. I was surprised, but I definitely had to
really good.
Give her lots of treats to make her stay still.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's funny.
Okay, and then it looks like the next photo that we have is of a flower.
So that was like one of the very first pictures I took when I started like getting curious about photography. That was just with a little like Sony digital camera. It was pretty old. It was kind of broken, and I did not edit that one. Like it was just the time of day.
Oh, cool.
It was perfect. That was another time I was like, what the heck? And that's kind of like what got me started. I was like, you don't have to have anything super crazy. You just need lighting and like you need to get the right angles and stuff.
Definitely.
So that's kind of what got me into it. Like super curious.
My computer is freezing.
Oh no.
Okay, and then it looks like the last one that you sent me was over in, what is that place called? Well, you know, what is it called?
Are you talking about Seven Pools?
Is that what it's called?
Wait,
No, it's
is it the waterfall picture?
No. Oh yeah, we
Wait,
gotta do
which
that one
picture?
too.
Oh.
I forgot about that one. I thought we already went over that one.
Oh
I'm looking
no.
at the one in like the building, uh, the not the
Building.
crypt, but the what is it?
Oh, the mausoleum.
That's at the mausoleum. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's so cool. I need to go back there. It was such a cool place.
So is that a self-portrait or is that someone else?
That's someone else. I had a
Okay.
friend come with me, and she really liked that kind of stuff. So I was like, "Hey, you're perfect. You like this aesthetic." So
Yeah, I really like the lighting. How like it's kind of like a silhouette, but there's enough light that you can actually like kind of see her face and like everything. But
hmm
I think that's really cool. Like usually, I feel like for a shot like that, someone just do a silhouette and everything. But I feel like because there's enough light that you can actually see like the person's body and see their
yeah,
legs. It definitely gives it a unique look, and definitely with
hmm
like the framing of the doorway and stuff to kind
yeah.
of on that subject is really cool.
I know. I was happy with that one. It's just I tried to. I didn't want to like bring down the lighting too much, so I didn't want to. So you couldn't see like that it was a person in there and not just vines or something.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't been there
But
forever. Like that place was.
no,
I think
man.
I did like one shoot there before, but it's definitely a creepy place. Have you ever been there at night?
No, I want to though.
Yeah, I went there at night once with some people from Skyland, and it
hmm
was a bit creepy.
Yeah, I
But
heard
yeah.
it's haunted. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, yeah. Someone told me that like for like their senior project, they went there and spent the night and like recorded everything.
Oh
But
my
I don't remember
gosh.
who said that. But yeah,
Whoa.
I don't think I
That's
want to do that for a
terrible.
senior project. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
not.
that's a little much. I don't know. But it's definitely cool to shoot at during the day.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
hmm
Um, okay, so then I guess this is the Seven Pools one.
So it's actually not Seven Pools. It looks like
Okay,
it, but it's not.
I don't even
That
know
was
what Seven
another.
Pools is.
Oh, it's in Bentonville. It's this hike. It's
Okay.
really pretty. They've got these like pools of
Oh yeah.
water.
Okay, yeah, I know what
Yeah.
it is. I just know what it's
Okay.
called. Yeah, because I've been there before. That place is the water's always so
It's really
cold
nice.
though.
It's
Yeah.
cold, but it's so pretty, and that's another good place to shoot. So this
And the
one was a
hike's not
shot
that
there,
bad.
but
Yeah.
it's like 20 minutes. It's super easy, super chill.
So where was this one shot?
So this one was another one of those like really random, you wouldn't expect it kind of location. It's literally right off 340 across from like this used car lot,
What?
like
How are
right
you
near front
finding
one.
all these spots so like close to the road and stuff?
I don't
Like
know. I look, use my
just like
eyeballs.
driving around like, oh, over there, you
Yeah,
know?
because it's a really pretty waterfall. It's literally right off 340, and you're taking pictures, and there's cars driving by. But like you're kind of tucked away enough. You're in a little like hollow, so
Mhm.
most of the time people don't see you because you're kind of downhill. But like you can see them, and you're like, huh, don't be creeped out. But that's another awesome place. I love it. Sammy's actually the one who spotted that out first
Oh,
years
awesome.
ago. She's like, because she lived right by there, and she's like, hey, we should shoot there one time. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely
we
like the mood of the photo and everything.
Yeah, we had to contact the car lot and ask them like if we could shoot there because we didn't know like whose land it was, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fine." So,
Oh, cool.
but
See, I
that's
never
cool.
do that. I need to do that, but like I usually just go and then get yelled at or ask for forgiveness or whatever
Oh my
later.
gosh, you're
Probably
like,
should
it's good publicity. I'm showing off your lot.
be. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So, let's see. What time of day was this? Was this near sunset too? Because I mean the light it doesn't look too harsh on her. Like it looks like even tones and everything. It looks really good.
No, I think it was like 4 o'clock actually. It was middle of the day. This was in like September, I think, but it was really rainy and super dreary, so that's why it was kind of like bland lighting, but it worked.
Yeah,
It was good
yeah,
because the green and everything really added.
definitely. Yeah, and I kind of like how like the waterfall is like framed around the subject, so it makes
hmm
your eyes kind of just like go straight to her, which is cool. And then you have
Yeah.
the log or whatever she's sitting on that kind of like leads in. Like if you go from the left to
hmm
right, like it leads into her and everything. So.
I know, and props to
Like that.
Marlena because that log was slimy and gross, but she freaking nailed it
She
and
was a
made it
team
look like
player,
no
huh?
big deal. Yeah, exactly.
That's always great having a
I
team player.
know. Yeah, she's awesome.
All right, so I think that was all the images that you sent over. Let's go
Yeah.
back to the questions. Um, let's see. So if you could give yourself a tip that you know now to yourself when you first started out, what would you say?
don't stress, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like photography is very stressful, especially with social media nowadays.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was one thing I was always like freaking out, like before I was gonna shoot with someone. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they turn out good. It's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just do
Yeah.
whatever you can.
Yeah,
Have
especially if you're not
fun.
getting paid and just shooting with friends and
Yeah,
stuff. I feel like they
exactly.
should understand that you're learning and stuff, and they shouldn't
Mhm.
give you a hard time. And they're getting free photos, so I mean, like they definitely
Yeah.
shouldn't be complaining. But
Mhm.
yeah,
And
I
for the
mean,
most part, like all I do is shoot with friends mostly. I do like a few paid stuff here and there, but I like kind of being in control of the shoot and like having more artistic, I don't know
yeah,
what to say.
definitely.
But yeah, like so it's much easier shooting with someone. But even like back in the day when I first started doing that, I'd still stress out even though it was free. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I hope they turn out good." And I'm like, "Wait a second. I'm taking time out of my day to go to this person and take photos for them. And
Yeah.
they might get really good pictures. I don't know. We'll see."
Yeah, I feel like it is risky. Like I know in the past, like when I was first starting, I photographed a wedding and I did it for like $20
Oh,
because like
dang.
I was like I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, and I don't think they like the photos. And looking back, like I'm like these photos aren't that great, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I feel like you got to know your worth or whatever. But back then, I feel like I definitely wasn't worth what I thought I was. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
definitely like something that you can take and like helps you grow as a photographer and everything.
Yeah.
But
That's the thing. You just gotta, like, if it ended up being really bad, just move on from that.
yeah,
Learn.
for
Figure
sure,
out next time what you could do differently.
definitely.
Yeah.
So do you have like a favorite photographer or anyone that really inspires your work nowadays or
There's a few, like, local photographers that I just, like, crazy about.
hmm
Like, obviously, like, White Sails Photography. Like, she's so, or creative. She's super good. I love all her stuff. It's so moody.
Oh, definitely. She
And,
definitely has a certain look to her photos.
yeah. Do you know Alyssa Faith Photography?
No, I do
She's in
not. No.
Harrisonburg. She's
Okay.
super good. She's also very kind of along the same vibes as White Sails. Just a lot of like outdoorsy, mountainy stuff.
Oh,
I
cool.
really like those. I don't I don't really follow a whole lot of like super big crazy people.
Well, that's good.
Uh,
Crazy people you shouldn't follow.
well,
Okay.
no, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any like super duper insane crazy. You know what I mean? I like following
Yeah.
a lot of local people.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I feel like
Hmm.
supporting your local photographers and artists and stuff's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find people around here to follow, but I feel like a lot of the photographers are like retired people that do
Oh
landscapes, and
no.
it's not really very artsy. It's just like straight from the camera photos, which is
Yeah.
still cool, but I feel like I definitely do like some photos that have certain editing done to it and everything. Like you said, like the what full
Visco.
white
Oh
sales.
wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
her photos and stuff, they definitely have a certain mood and stuff, and you definitely couldn't get that straight from the camera, you know. So I
Yeah.
feel like there's definitely a lot of photographers out there that edit their photos a certain way, and it definitely works for me. And I definitely think it pulls certain people towards their art and
Mhm.
photography.
Yeah,
So
they have a certain look, and like she does that for a living, so people go to her because they say, I wanna be on the mountain looking like that. That's awesome.
yeah, exactly, for
So
sure.
they have their own style. It's great.
So, do you have like a certain photography, like camera setup that you want to get, or if you had like as much money as possible, is there a certain camera setup you'd want? Or you just kind of like, I'll shoot with whatever I'm given.
I mean, I'll take whatever, but like I really liked shooting with the Mark II when I used to do photography when I first started out because I had connections. So I really
So the
liked it.
Mark II, is this like the 5D Mark II, or is this the
This
MV1 Mark
it
II?
was a
What is
5D.
5D? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It was
Yeah.
just so nice, and like every time, I don't know, it was just easy to use, and like I
Mm,
just was happy with every single picture that came out, even though
yeah.
I wasn't super good, but it was still like, oh dang, oh look at that blur in the background, dang.
Yeah, I just got the Mark One, and I feel like the learning curve going from Nikon to that is kind of a pain. Like the little wheel on the
Yeah.
back, I'm not used to that at all, and I'm always
Yeah.
like, what are you doing, Roy? So I feel like it's
Yeah.
definitely learning. But I feel like I know this isn't the Mark II, but I feel like even for being a 15-year-old camera, like the quality
Oh
is
yeah.
really good still and everything. And I feel like with full frame cameras, that usually the quality compared to like modern cameras is still up there, especially with like crop sensors and everything, because it might have more megapixels and whatnot, but I feel like the pixels are smaller and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I don't know. I like it.
No, I get
It's just
that.
that
Yeah.
learning curve is kind of a pain. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely miss Nikon cameras. But
Yeah,
after
I do.
leaving
I like
Gentry,
Nikons too. They're nice.
is that what you're shooting with now, or are you
No,
shooting with a
I'm
Canon?
with Canon. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you told me what you were shooting with, right? Yeah,
Dang
my
it.
bad. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I've been doing a lot of homework,
Mhm. That's
but
good.
yeah,
Yeah, I liked using the Nikon. Which one were we using? The D700?
D700s,
That
yeah.
was at Gentry's, right?
Yeah, and those are
Yeah.
like the oldest full frame I think that Nikon has. But those
Mhm.
things even used on eBay. I was thinking about buying one of those instead of the Mark One, but they were like $200 more, and they were in way worse shape. Like
Dang.
people are not nice to their cameras. Like there was
I
like
know.
gaffer's tape all around one body, and they're like, but it still works. It's just ugly. I'm like, that looks terrible. I do not
That's
want to
gonna
spend
fall apart.
$500 on that. And especially another thing like is the shutter counts. Like it's crazy. Like I think they were like at 255,000. I think they have like a shutter life of 300,000. But even some, like if I'm spending that much money, I want to know the shutter count. But with this,
Yeah.
the 5D Mark One, there's no way to find out the shutter count unless I send it into Canon.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
gosh.
it sounds like it's good,
Oh
and
well,
the
yeah.
body's in good condition. So I'm hoping that it has a lower shutter count.
Yeah. I mean, if you get good pictures too, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So let's see. If you could shoot anywhere in the world with any person,
Oh
where
my
and who would that
gosh. Anywhere in the world?
be?
I would
Anywhere.
really, really, really like to go to like the Alps or something and
Yeah.
shoot up in the mountains. It'd be so pretty.
Be very cold though, right?
Well,
Nice.
not like all the way up, but like like halfway up the mountain where you like still have all the green, but then you see the snow-capped mountain. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was any person, I don't really know. I don't think I have any like particular person I'd want to. Unless it was like Devin, I think that'd be
I know. I was
really
gonna
cute.
say, what about Devin?
He doesn't like to model for me. He's always like, I'm a model, but then he won't model.
Just bribe him with some beer or something,
He
Just be
won't
like,
do it. He'll
"Well,
just do
dude."
something like dorky face.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's
It's hard
terrible.
for others to be your model.
Hmm.
Girlfriend's not really down with it either. That's why she's like, shoot sweet peas, shoot
Oh
sweet
my
peas.
gosh. I mean, dogs always make great models. They're good. Roxy would do it. I feel like she'd be a good
There you
Alp
go.
model.
You got your dog.
Oh
That'd be
my
kind of cool
gosh,
photos having your dog in the Alps
that would be cool.
with like a little jacket on and everything.
Oh, a little like snow hat. It'd be so cute. Oh my gosh,
I
gotta
feel like
make it happen now.
yeah, I know. Right now, I want to go do some dog shots like that, like fake like the Alps and everything, and Photoshop and some
Yeah,
stuff.
do you know like those like Saint Bernards like always have in like movies or something? They're like the rescue dogs for
Yeah,
avalanches and stuff. I just want to do something like that now and get
that'd be awesome.
the getup that they wear, like the collar with the little cross on it.
You should do that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. New mission in life.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Um,
awful.
so, what is one of the most difficult things you've come to realize being a photographer in today's world?
Mm, that's kind of a tough one. Well, okay, a difficult thing is that people don't. If you're not a photographer, then you don't really realize how much work goes into it and how much time.
Definitely.
So like because I've told people like sometimes like I only charge $30 for certain shoots and they're like 30, that's a little steep. I'll have to talk to
What?
my fiance about that. I'm like, whoa, okay, fine. I mean, go ahead. But like
Yeah,
you're like,
$30 is
dang,
like super cheap. Like I
for
can't
like
believe you're
an
saying that's
hour of
like
shooting
yeah,
and like I drive to them, like it's ridiculous. So like people just don't realize it.
yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy.
gear's expensive. Like my time I spend on those photos, that's
Yeah.
hours of work.
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
should like have like the customers like sit down and just watch how long it takes people to edit like weddings
Yeah.
and everything. Just be like, so this is what I do, and you think I just take the photos, post it, and you're done. No, that's not the
Hmm.
case. Like I have to go and edit all those hairs flying all over the place, and whatnot. But
Hmm.
like people definitely need to start really realizing that photographers do a lot more behind the scenes than they
Hmm.
realize. Sure.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really hard is when I was trying to like I'm not really doing so much of it anymore, but like before when I was trying to make a little bit of like a side hustle out of it, like $30. I thought that was pretty reasonable, but a lot of people were like, ooh, I don't know, man. Kind of breaking the
Yeah,
bank.
it's crazy.
I'm like, all right. Bye.
Yeah, good luck finding someone else that will do it for cheaper
I
than 30.
know. Yeah. So yeah, that's a little hard.
Yeah. So, have you ever had any like photography gear stolen or broken before that you were using?
No, luckily I haven't. But
Sweet.
usually when I'm like out and about from in the city or something, I just kind of try to keep very few like gear with me. I don't really like to bring my camera bag. I just kind of have my camera to my side with one lens. That's
So you've
kind of
never
all I
lost
bring.
a lens cap?
No, I've lost plenty of lens cap,
Okay, yeah, I feel
but
like
I
that's
feel
like
like
the
that's
most
not as big
common
of a
thing.
deal. Yeah, but
Yeah, you
those
can
are
always
like
get more.
$2 on Amazon, and
This
you're
is
good.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd definitely rather lose a lens cap than like a lens for sure,
yeah,
or a camera.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Luckily, I haven't busted a lens or anything or lost a lens. I don't know. That'd be sad.
So I know that in the past, like you've modeled and everything for fun too. Is there anything that you feel like photographers or models like doing both, like they don't really realize for the other side, kind of like being a model, how photographers should act towards you, or being a photographer, how models should act towards you, or anything like that?
Mm, that's a really good question. 'Cause a lot of times when I'm shooting with models, they're really chill and they're always open. I'm like, hey, can you go stand over here? The lighting's better, and they're like, yeah, you know what you're doing. But sometimes it's hard because the model like they think you know everything. So they're like, okay, well, how do you think I should pose? And I'm like, I mean, you could try this, but really just I'm just here to take pictures of you, so just do whatever. So
Yeah.
it's hard. I'm really bad at posing people, so
Yeah,
that's hard
same
for me.
here. Yeah, yeah. Every time I go to the store, whatever, I'm like, I should just get like a modeling, like a magazine with models, and just look at their poses and just memorize it and
Yeah.
everything. But I haven't done it. I've been trying to. I've been saying that for years. Like, oh, I'll do that. I'll do that. Because I remember when I was working at Gentry's, like the poses were the hardest thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
it was just
And
a
then
hard
like
thing.
they see things or they want to try it, and they're just really awkward because like you need to give them at least a little bit of direction. So like as
Yeah.
a model, like you need to be told like, hey, make your chin face this way because it looks better or something. Don't like do the double chin thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You don't want them
kind
coming
of
back
move
to you
around
like,
a
why
lot.
didn't you tell me about my double chin? Like you
Yeah.
saw it. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I thought you knew what you were doing. I'm like, no, you're the photographer. You need to tell me. I
Yeah,
can't see what you
exactly.
see. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It can be difficult.
Was there anything that you want to talk about or anything that you wanted to ask me or anything? No?
I was, I should have prepared for this more, but I was like, I'm just gonna let it flow,
Hey,
Just
no worries. That's kind of what I want this to be. I feel like I've talked to a couple
yeah,
people like, oh, I got to make sure I have the right answers and stuff. They're like, there's no right answer. Like, we're just talking. The only reason why I
yeah.
essentially cheat with all the questions is just so you have something to kind of base it off of, so you have an
Hmm.
idea of the questions I will ask. But I feel like this is more meant just two people hanging out, just talking about photography, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
You should really try to like reach out to some like aren't there any like Facebook groups out in Albuquerque? Like
yeah,
local
yeah,
meetup things?
I went to a meetup actually back around like Halloween, but I didn't stay very long. And they just did a meetup virtual with like a couple other meetup groups from around the US,
Yeah.
and they did it through Zoom. So people were modeling through the
Oh,
Zoom, and they were like taking
what?
screenshots and stuff. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously the quality's not gonna be that great, but
Yeah,
it's a cool idea to do like in today's world because of the coronavirus and stuff, so you
that's
can still shoot
wild.
hang. Yeah, I think they had like 250 people in the Zoom
Oh my
like meeting.
gosh.
Yeah. I don't know
That's
how all those people
crazy.
could talk. Like, I feel like there'd
Yeah.
be too many people talking over each other.
Dang. That's awesome. I definitely want to do it. So when we did a few years ago that like photography model meetup thing, I thought it was lots of fun, but there's definitely things I would do differently next time. But
Don't invite some people.
yeah, don't invite so many people. Two, give them like 3 hours before shoot time to
to
get
get ready.
ready because
Definitely.
all the photographers are kind of sitting around twiddling their thumbs like we were
Yeah.
getting ready, and it was good. Like we ended up getting lots of good pictures, but time could have been managed wisely or better.
It was fun though. Yeah, I wish
It
I could
was
do more
fun.
stuff like that. I feel
I
like
know
all the
I want to.
photographers that I like follow around here, I'm not really close friends with. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it'd be a little more awkward than like shooting with people who I hang out with regularly. But I feel like I need to
Mm-hmm.
get out of my shell and just do it
Yeah.
to meet more people and everything. But it was definitely a fun time. I feel like that was the last meetup besides the Albuquerque one that I went to just for a little while, but it
Yeah.
was a good
I
time.
know. I definitely need to like reach out more. See, my like holdback is I like see all these other photographers are like, oh, they're way better than me. Like I can't compare, you know. But that's why you learn, you meet people and you get different ideas and you collaborate.
Yeah, and it's not like
Like
once
that.
they picked up the camera the first time they had quality that
Yeah,
good, like it
exactly.
took a long time for them to achieve that. So yeah, I
Hmm.
feel like that's my problem too. I see people's work, I'm like, that's so good, and mine doesn't compare. But then
Yeah,
I
I know.
keep thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, everyone started out somewhere, like they weren't
Hmm.
automatically that good from the
Yeah,
get-go.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I really want to get into like cosplay photography too. I think that'd
Yeah,
be fun.
that seems like it would be pretty cool. And I feel like
Hmm.
don't you go to some cosplay stuff anyway?
Like
Like,
MagFest, like every year.
yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Well, you should take your camera next time. Do they allow
So
cameras?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So they have they even do like scheduled like themes of video games. So they had like a Super Mario photo shoot, and photographers
Mhm.
could go and take pictures of all the cosplayers dressed up as Super Mario characters
That's
and things like
awesome.
that. Yeah. So they had tons of stuff like that, and I tried to do more of that this year, but for some reason I just didn't do a lot.
I
But
feel like that's there's definitely a market there because I mean I follow a couple like
yeah,
cosplay photographers and
yeah,
even cosplay people, and like I feel like they have a lot of followers and stuff. So I feel like if they have that many followers, I'm sure there's a lot more people that are
I
willing to like
know.
pay people decent money to take their photos and stuff and
Yeah.
their outfits that they put so much time and effort in creating. So
I know, and I feel like I know definitely enough people around here who would like be down to model for me with cosplaying like outfits on. It'd be so good.
you should do
It'd
it,
be
man.
so nerdy. I would
Yeah,
love it.
yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah.
Dang, yeah. Mm-hmm. That'd be great.
So I have a couple other questions. The last person I talked to about this, they're like, I don't really have a favorite bag. I know a lot of people are like, favorite bag, I just use what I got. Do you have a favorite bag?
No, I
No?
don't.
Okay. I
Just
think I'm
my
just gonna take that
Canon
out of the
kit
list.
bag.
Yeah. Hey, I mean that works, just pop it over your shoulder,
That's
you're good to
good.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would like to get a different bag though, because like it's too square and like it'd be kind of chill to have like a backpack, like photography
Yeah.
backpack.
Well, if you don't know, I posted a video recently, but they sell like inserts online for
Mm-hmm.
cameras, and you can put it in any bag. So if you have a backpack you already have and you like, you
Ah,
just insert it in there. So that's what I did. I got like this shoulder bag from a thrift store for like $7, and I got an insert in it, and it's great. The insert's really thick, so everything is really protected, and I think it's even
that's
waterproof.
awesome.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I gotta check in that. I don't really carry bags a whole lot though. Like I've never been like a purse person or anything.
yeah.
So this camera bag, whenever I carry it around, I'm just like, oh, I feel like I have so much stuff.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I'd rather just leave it, but then I'm like, oh, I wish I would have brought that, or I wish I
Yeah,
would have
I'm like,
brought
oh dang, I
this.
need that lens. It's much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
want to invest in a backpack just because I feel like having a shoulder bag, it's like it feels more awkward than a backpack, but
yeah, yeah,
photography
yeah.
backpacks are so expensive and the one
I
I have is like
know.
falling apart and I sewed the strap so it wouldn't rip all the way and
Uh
it's
huh.
looking pretty rough. And I was on
Yeah.
eBay the other day looking for more bags, but I'm just like,
Dang.
no, even the used bags are like 30 or $40. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll just
Mm,
use what I got.
yeah. Definitely an expensive craft.
So I think we pretty much covered all the questions that I had. If anyone wants to find your work, where can they find it on Instagram? And if you have a
Just
website, thing.
I don't have a website yet, but just I post the most on Instagram. I tried to make a Facebook page, but I'm not very active on Facebook. So
Okay.
not Teresa F.
All right, all right. I'll be sure to post a screenshot of that. And I think that's pretty much everything. Is there anything else you
Awesome.
want to say, or anyone watching that you want to do a shout out to, or anything like that?
If anyone wants to shoot with me, hit me up.
There you go. So yeah, if you're in the area around Bridgewater, definitely hit up Teresa. She's a great photographer, and you guys will have a lot of fun.
We could do
All
six
right.
feet apart. We got this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's wait until after the coronavirus. Forgot that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
All right. Until
Heck yeah.
next time, guys. Thanks for watching.